Killing Lincoln, The Shocking Assassination That Changed America Forever is a widely read nonfiction historical account of Abraham Lincoln's 1865 assassination. Published in September 2011, the book was co-authored by New York Times best-selling writer and former The O'Reilly Factor host Bill O'Reilly, a controversial conservative commentator, along with Martin Dugard. Dugard, also a New York Times best-selling author, wrote Into Africa, The Epic Adventures of Stanley and Livingstone, which was later adapted into a History Channel special. Killing Lincoln is part of the duo's ongoing series, which also includes Killing Kennedy and Killing Jesus. Killing Lincoln explores themes such as patriotism, reunification, loyalty, jealousy, revenge, crime, and punishment, all woven into the book's 4 sections. The first section delves into the Civil War and the brutal realities of combat. The second examines the early conspiracies against Lincoln and how they evolved into John Wilkes Booth's assassination plot. The third details the execution of Lincoln's assassination, while the final section follows Booth's escape and the pursuit of him and his accomplices. Written as nonfiction with a fast-paced, narrative-driven style, the book was designed to read like a thriller, a goal that O'Reilly himself acknowledged, emphasizing that it remains grounded in historical fact. The opening section, Total War, focuses on the struggle between Union General Ulysses S. Grant and Confederate General Robert E. Lee during the Civil War's final stretch. The Union Army, stronger in both numbers and morale, pushes toward victory, while Lincoln is eager to end the war and begin the challenging process of reunifying the nation. However, he faces a disheartened North questioning the war's purpose and a resentful South that views him as a tyrant infringing on their rights. Lincoln's ultimate goal is to restore patriotism through victory and reunification. Meanwhile, despite being outnumbered and constantly retreating, Lee and his troops remain committed to their belief in states' rights and slavery, refusing to surrender. This section highlights key strategic decisions, major battles, and the grim realities of war, culminating in Lee's surrender at Appomattox Courthouse. The second section, The Ides of Death, explores John Wilkes Booth's deepening resentment toward Lincoln and his shift from planning a kidnapping to orchestrating an assassination. As a Confederate sympathizer and spy, Booth is paid to carry out espionage but is prohibited from engaging in Black Flag warfare, acts of murder. However, after the Confederacy's defeat by Grant and Lincoln, Booth finds himself without leadership and rationalizes that the rules of war still apply, believing that while killing is immoral, it is justifiable in wartime. Convinced that assassinating Lincoln will help preserve the South's traditional way of life, Booth infuses his plot with his characteristic theatrical flair, drawing on his background as a well-known actor. He enlists Lewis Powell, George Atzerodt, and David Harold to aid in the assassination, while others, including Mary Surratt and Dr. Samuel Mudd, become entangled in the conspiracy, highlighting the complexity of the plot against Lincoln. The third section, The Long Good Friday, recounts Lincoln's assassination at Ford's Theater and Booth's subsequent escape into the Maryland countryside. The final section, The Chase, follows Booth and Harold as they attempt to flee to Kentucky and then Mexico while being relentlessly pursued by federal agents. The book's conclusion outlines the fates of those involved in the conspiracy, with some, including Mary Surratt, who became the first and only woman hanged by the U.S. government, being executed, while others were sentenced to imprisonment. In the aftermath, numerous conspiracy theories emerged regarding the events leading up to Lincoln's death, many of which, the author suggests, may never be fully unraveled. While justice is ultimately served, the narrative underscores how Lincoln's assassination altered the nation's trajectory, steering it away from the path of reconciliation and unity that Lincoln had envisioned.